let's get that door closed. Been terrible weather here lately, which is really annoying because I've been wanting to get my full-sized toys out for a play. Right, welcome back. You've obviously seen the thumbnail, and we've got a problem. We've got a problem with the track and with some of the scenery. So the situation was that so last weekend had a few people around, and we got used to the track. It's the first time really that I've had 4 people in here racing. It was only fun because obviously I haven't got any timing software up yet, but it was just nice to sort of get the track used. We're still using the old controllers at the moment, but it was a bit of a test run with everyone in the building, and I have discovered that there's a problem, and it was a problem I was kind of aware of, or sort of aware of, or concerned about, and that was whether there was enough space back here for everyone. Now there is. There's enough space for the drivers, but there's not enough space for someone to be picking up the cars that are coming off, and using these claws. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. So it kind of works, but it's very slow in trying to pick them up. If you have a 5th person in here, they're always in the way. You have the way people are standing, you end up kind of blocking views to the track. Although we had fun, it could definitely be improved, and I need to look at how to do that. There's a couple of ways I can do it, or a couple of ways I've been thinking of doing it. One is that, well, they both involve altering the track, and one is much more problematic than the other. So I either need to take this part away from the wall, and come this way so that someone can get down there, and be able to get cars from there. That would also give a bit more room for people to stand. It will also mean that when we're standing in this area and people are sort of dotted about here, the people on the end aren't having their view obstructed of that area. Or, and I sort of prefer this idea at the moment, but I'm going to explore both options, is that as we come along this straight here, we kink it over and we come out there somewhere, creating a removable panel that can come out over there, and someone can sort of pop up in there and they can be there picking up the cars. The advantage of that one is it means if someone's in that area, they can get cars from there and there without the need of a claw. If I move this lot over, firstly, I'm not sure how that'll work with this, the way this is. I'm not sure it will work. I'll probably have to shorten this quite a lot to bring that over. If I do that, then you're still going to need a claw to get to the back of there anyway. So, I don't know. And also, it would mean changing all that I've already done. But there's also a problem with that. And again, it was something I was concerned about, is you've probably noticed there's a bit of damage there. And that was done by someone picking up the claw, and they knocked it with the claw and damaged the foam. Now it could be that the foam, or the insulation foam that I've used for that, was a bad idea, and that's just always going to be a problem. I can touch that up, and I will touch that up for now. But if it continues to be a major issue, then I may need to think of remaking that with something else. So yeah, it was a good time, but there's problems. So what I'm going to do now is have a look at layouts. I'll go through that with you of what we decide to do. Another thing I'm thinking is, if I change this one to dive that way before going under that straight section there, I'm kind of losing that issue of that corner being underneath the track above, which I never really liked anyway, because you know, when people are unsighted, they always come off there because they're not seeing the car. And it didn't matter which way around I did that. If I raised this level up and put this level underneath, I still would have had the same issue there, and I would have ended up with nowhere to put a pit lane, because this area would have started to come up. I suppose I could have raised the pit lane area, but then the straight behind then becomes less visible. So this was the lesser of the two evils I fought at the time to do it. But you know, it's not like the track's really well developed and that it's a massive issue for me to change it now. It's quite easy to change it now if I don't do that one. But I think, like I say, I think I'm favouring the idea of kinking it and come across there. So I'm going to mock up some bits of track. I've got some spare track, so I'll mock it up sort of kind of over the top, and we'll have a look and see how that looks. Let's give it a go. Right, so I think the first thing I need to do is establish if there's going to be enough room by bringing that curve round and over to here, whether there's going to leave enough room then in that corner to have a lift out section for someone to stand. So yeah, so first thing I'm going to do is get up on there. Glad I made this platform strong enough to climb on. Right, so as I mentioned in some of the previous videos, how I changed all these curves, you can see now actually with me being so close to it, is how that one is a shallower curve and then tightens and then shallows back out again. Now I'm probably going to have to change that now. So what I'm going to do now is break all this apart, which isn't going to be that easy because oh no, that's all right, that one's not pinned down, that's lucky. I think the ones on the outside are pinned down, but that's not too bad because I'm coming in tighter than that, so I can you know, I can pull them up and remake them later. So I should be able to experiment with this without doing anything that I can't just put straight back. So I think that's good. We can have a bit of a play and see what's going to work out. So I'm going to break up this section here round to there somewhere, and then see how, you know, what I can do with this corner, and then roughly how that's going to come along under there. Yeah, it's not that easy to take apart this stuff because of those clips underneath, and also because it's kind of tied in by the borders. You don't get much room to move it about, but let's get cracking. Nothing to do other than to start, eh? Right, so now I've got that section removed around there. I need to work out how tight I want to make this corner coming around here to then give enough room there for someone to stand. So hope you can see okay. It's a little bit tricky. So at the moment, as I've mentioned before, this corner is not actually a very tight corner. So I might need to change that to give me the room. But what I'll do first of all is just try it with kind of the standard curves from that point. You see that? Standard curves from that point, and just see where we end up. By standard curves, so there's various different Carrera curves. The tightest one being a curve 1, which does actually say that, hopefully you can see that on there. Curve 1, 30 degrees. Curve 2, 30 degrees. So obviously being 4-lane, you have to have one of each. And then we go on to curve, I don't know, it's not labelled on there, but that one there is the next one on from that. So if you were to have even more lanes, that one would actually fit here, and that one goes on outside of that, if I remember correctly. Well, that might even be the same as that, can't remember now. But let's try this and see what happens. So I don't want that. Like that. What I do want is some bits I've got over there. On there like that. And that on there. Oh, need me red clips. Don't really need to go to this extent on it now because it's only mocking up, but it will save me time later if I do decide to keep it like that. Sorry, it's if you're getting noise come through, it's pouring down again. It's basically been pouring down since November and it's now March. Yay. I actually swore at the weather yesterday. I left the house and I was like, you weather. When I nearly got blown back in the door again. It's just been crazy this year. Right. Okay. Let's just slide that in to have a look. Sorry if you can't see from over there, but I will show you in a minute. Right. Let's bring you here. Hang on. Right. Okay, so that was the from here to there was the curve I originally had, hence why the borders on the outside fit, and these are the new ones that I've put in to try and make space there. Don't think that's enough space really for someone to stand in there. It's a bit on the tight side, especially when I'll need to make a panel that comes out, because what I'd like to do is obviously put scenery in there, but then have it lift out if someone wants to be in there. So that means I need to change it up a bit, and what's going to be the best way to do that? I think what I'll try is, obviously these are much longer, so what I think I'll try is move these to there, creating a tighter apex to the corner, and then try these ones afterwards. That may open that space up, so let's give that a go. So yeah, tighter ones first. Is that enough? Is that big enough there? I don't know. Because by the time I've got a border, you're not talking about a lot of space for someone to be in, are you? No, that's not enough, is it? Okay, so what if I make that? Could just make this all a really tight corner, which won't be great when I don't have someone there, because then this is a tricky corner to get to and everyone will be coming off on it because it'll be basically the tightest corner on the track. Also, the other thing to consider is where my straight's going to end up, because I still want to be able to have enough straight there, sorry, pointing in the wrong place, enough straight over there to have a pit lane. Not working out how I hoped, I don't think. Okay, let me try and put myself over there and see what space I end up with. Hang on. Oh, I found a light lens from a GT40. That's one I can glue back in. I'll put that in there, safekeeping. Right, okay, let's have a look. Right, bear with me a minute. I'm just going to have a bit of a play. Okay, so that's still not enough. What I think I now need to do is move this whole piece this way a bit, which will open up a bigger area. I think that's the only way I'm going to get what I need to get. Then if I come this way with it, I might not need to make that corner quite so sharp, because I'll gain space by literally moving it this way. So in here, on this straight here, I have got a section of the very small, the quarter, I think they're quarter straights. So I could take those out and see what that does. Let's give that a go. Okay, rather than keep guessing whether I've got enough space down there, I've gone and made a framework, which is be the size of the hole I need, because I think that I'm coming up, or someone, but I've got quite broad shoulders, so if I can fit through that, most people will be able to, and then obviously that'll be roughly around waist height. Can I manoeuvre around to get cars? Yes. So that is the size I need it to be, which for me, internal size is 600mm by 345. So that saves me with the guesswork that I was doing over there just now. So I'm just going to see whether that will fit. So yeah, problem. Is it a problem? Can I get away with that being raised off in the edges there? Would that work? Probably would. It's not ideal though, is it? Okay, so I've got a layout that will work. You see my box frame over there where someone can pop up. So I've got all round there, that's all the very tightest corners, then into the shallowest ones that I've got. No, I think that's the middle ones, those two, and then underneath there is all the shallowest ones, which was the same as what I had when it was back there anyway. So it's kind of okay, but I did want to try and get away from having that corner underneath the other bit of track, but I don't really think there's another way I can do that. What I think I will do, obviously I need to try and run this and see what it drives like and whether I'm happy with that, which I will do, but I just want to experiment perhaps with opening up an area along here, because that will be better than trying to get underneath and then popping up there, because I am going to store things underneath the track, so I'd have to keep an area clear to get in there, which isn't ideal. Plus, if I can open up an area on this side, it does make getting 4 people in here, plus someone to pick cars up, a lot easier. Although that does mean still that if cars come off over there, you still need the claw to get them. So I don't know. There's no real perfect solution, to be honest. Perhaps I need to give it some thought. I think what I'll do at this stage is I think I will leave this video here and try and really finalise what it is I'm going to do with the layout, because there's not a lot of point me showing you more of me being confused and more of me just moving stuff about. It's probably best just to show you what I finally decide on going with. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe and comment. I will always reply, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks then. Bye bye.